Hey guys, and welcome to Awakened Aspects. Today we're going to discuss how to pull your own astrology report. So it's really important to know how to pull your own astrology report, and it's one of those things I feel like it's just as important as tying your shoe, cooking a meal, paying a bill, driving a car. I know it sounds excessive, but it really is. It's a way to navigate your life. You get a blueprint for life if you really want it. I'm going to show you how not only to pull your own astrology report, but maybe just a few basics on how to begin navigating it yourself so you can look at it and start to understand maybe what it means. So a natal report is basically a blueprint that you've come down here with that helps you navigate what your full potential could be. It's essentially a snapshot of the sky from the exact place and time that you took your first breath on Earth. So that's why the exact point in time and place is really important to know when you pull these reports, because the more detailed information you have, the more accurate they can be. If there was any handbook we could actually be given and any instructions that we could possibly follow, it's gonna be our natal chart. It's gonna be our astrology chart. The more I learn, the more I realize there are certain things I went through in my life that didn't have the best outcome that I could have avoided if I paid more attention to what the chart told me. When looking at a report, it's really important to take a look at these three main elements: the sun, the moon, and the rising or the ascendant sign. The sun sign is definitely our personality, how we shine in the world. And our rising sign is a little bit of our drive, but also how we appear to others, how we can look sometimes. Our moon is our emotions and how we feel, a deeper inner being. Someone's rising sign is much more apparent to other people, and a moon can be a lot more hidden in an internal world. And sun sign becomes an intermediary between the two. They all work together as a team. Today, we're just gonna talk about how to pull these charts, and in the future, I'll definitely be getting into these a little further. First things first, let's get started on how to pull a natal report. Here we are with our search screen up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to astro.com. So you can type it in up here, astro.com. And it should go straight there. It used to be called Astrodienst. They have everything here. We've got lots of free stuff, and then you can buy things. They have great stuff on their homepage that you can look up. Here they've got their Astro Wiki. You can do a lot of research and learn a lot about astrology on here. They've used some of the top astrologers to write some of their articles, and it's really one of my favorite sites. So I highly recommend it to anyone who's beginning and advanced. They also let you have your own account. You can log in and have an account, and it will let you save up to maybe 150 free charts on here. So you can save up to 150 people's free charts on here, which is pretty cool. And what we'll do is we'll go into one of the charts and I'll show you. What we want to do is we want to go to extended chart selection, because that's where we're going to really learn how to pull these charts for ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to block some of these names out so you don't see some of my previous clients' names. It's private information. But as you see that they can, there are partner charts, and we'll just look through all these. There's so many options here. Transits, natal progressions. I'll get into show you how to do some of those. You have solar return charts. I'll do another video on that. And then their partner charts. Okay, so, and of course they have partner charts, which is pretty cool too. For now, we're just going to pull up a basic chart. Let's see. So, things I like to check off to make sure I'm pulling up an accurate chart is I want to make the date pretty close to the time I'm pulling it. The house system, and we're going to do Koch house system. Placidus is the most common, but I prefer Koch. It's a newer version of a way to pull house systems. It's a very basic difference between them.
Placidus was invented back in the 1600s. That kind of works with the exact amount of time the sun is out during the day versus the night. And the Koch system kind of starts to take into account the space and the area, the location where you were born alongside of the time. The Koch was a little bit more recent, in about this 1960s. It was developed and used since then. So that's what I like to use. And then of course, these are the different types of astrology. We use tropical, most common. I'm not going to go into each and every one of these, but geocentric versus heliocentric, that's really important. Geocentric is the astrology based around the Earth. We are the center of our universe, where we are standing currently and looking out onto the cosmos. It places the Earth in the center of the chart. Heliocentric kind of gets a little bit more into placing the sun as the center of the universe and looking out onto the universe from the point of the sun. And that's pretty cool too. And these are only just a few examples of the different types of astrology out there. You want to make sure your reference place is accurate, because when you pull progressed reports or even solar return reports, which I'll show you in a later video, you want to make sure that's kind of up to date. And we're going to use a true node as opposed to a mean node, which will give you usually by default anyway. The true node will give you the exact point of your nodes. The node is very important, and whether you know what the node is or not. It is the moon's nodes, and it is very indicative of your purpose here on Earth. So we'll go into a node another time too. We've got asteroids down here, which are pretty cool. Not everyone likes to use asteroids. They kind of get a little more complex, but I like to use a couple. I like to use a lot of them, but for now I think I'm going to recommend using a couple. That's the parts of fortune, which shows you on your chart the area where you're most lucky, and also where you can gain fortune and happiness if you pay attention to that particular area in your chart. And who doesn't want to know that? And then Chiron, which is kind of maybe the opposite, but similar in a way, where you kind of look at where your wound is and your traumas are in your life, and you become the teacher of that wound to others later on in life. And that will bring you reward as well, usually more of an internal satisfaction. So that's it for now. We're going to go ahead and click to show the chart. And there it is. There's the chart. And we've got the blue lines. The blue lines indicate softer aspects, which are sometimes beneficial aspects between planets, and the red lines will indicate harder aspects, which are more challenging aspects between planets, to show you maybe where challenges arise and lessons can be learned. And then the blue ones show you maybe more fortunate or easier aspects that will benefit you in some way. But this person has a 0-degree ascendant, and it's between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And that's where the exact time you were born is probably really important, because it's down to the millisecond. We're going to go ahead and just call this a Sagittarius ascendant. And knowing this person, I would actually say they have more of a Sagittarius ascendant than a Scorpio ascendant. It's one of those very close calls. That's why it's so imperative to know the exact time you're born. You have people who don't know, and they will work with a professional astrologer to even try to figure it out based on the rest of the chart. And sometimes they'll go into your life events and they'll go backwards and see what matches up in your life events and which ascendant will match up more to your life events, and figure it out. And they have their moon here in Libra and their sun in Gemini. And you see how it's on the cusp again. We've got the cusp of the 7th house and the 8th house. It's right on the edge there of 7th house. So for this person, relationships are pretty transformational to them. They, here even with the Libra moon, it's going to show relationships are important to them. So relationships are imperative for this person and their transformation in life. So we see we have all the houses, all the signs, and those are the 3 that I'd pay most attention to if you're starting out. Just get acquainted with those and then go from there.
So I hope you found that video helpful and useful to begin your astrological journey. I'd love to hear what your thoughts were, how you felt navigating that site. Feel free to share in the comments below what you thought, any ideas that you have, what you think of your own chart. So stay tuned. I'll be making sure to help you stay awake, stay aware, stay conscious, and stay whole during these transitioning times. Thank you for watching and see you soon.